somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again.
Back in 2020, the gaming community wasn't just talking about next-gen consoles or upcoming titles. No, the biggest debate in the room was about a man named Joel Miller and a decision that would change everything. At the end of The Last of Us, Joel makes a choice, one that would split the fan base right down the middle. Some said he was right, that love and family justified his actions. Others argued he was wrong, that he doomed humanity out of selfishness. And that's what made it so powerful. It wasn't black and white. It was messy, emotional, human. In today's video, we're diving back into that moment. The hospital, the fireflies, Ellie. We're breaking down the decision, the aftermath, and why, all these years later, people are still arguing about whether Joel was a savior or a villain. Let's talk about what really happened and why it shook the world of gaming to its core. Before we even get to that hospital scene, we have to go back to the very beginning, because to truly understand Joel's decision, you have to remember what he lost. At the start of The Last of Us, during the outbreak, Joel loses his daughter, Sarah. A moment that's burned into every player's memory. The panic, the chaos, and then silence. She dies in his arms, and that moment breaks something in him. From that point on, Joel isn't just surviving the apocalypse, he's carrying that pain with him, every step, every breath. And here's where the symbolism hits hard. The way he held Sarah as she died is the same way he holds Ellie at the end of the game. Desperately, protectively, as if he's trying to rewrite the past with his actions in the present. That parallel, that image of a broken father getting a second chance, it's no accident. We'll come back to that moment later, because it plays a massive role in understanding why Joel did what he did. This isn't just about saving Ellie. It's about saving himself. As the story unfolds, Joel and Ellie's relationship slowly transforms. What starts off as a cold, reluctant mission, just another job to deliver some cargo, evolves into something deeper, something real. Through the seasons, they share loss, laughter, survival. Joel, a man who had shut the world out, begins to let someone back in. And Ellie, who had known nothing but loneliness and death, finds someone who actually stays. By the time they reach the fireflies, she's not cargo anymore. She's his. Not by blood, but by choice. And then comes the truth. Ellie is the key to a possible cure. But creating that cure will kill her. The fireflies don't ask for consent. They don't wait. They decide. And in that moment, Joel is forced to choose. Save humanity. Or save the one person who made him feel alive again. And now the weight of that decision ties back to the very beginning. Because once again, he's standing in a hospital. Once again, the person he loves is slipping away. And once again, he's the only one who can do something about it. The symbolism becomes reality. He won't lose another daughter. And just like that, Joel makes his choice. Joel doesn't hesitate. He tears through the fireflies with the desperation of a man who's already lost everything once before. It's not about strategy. It's not about logic. It's about love, raw, brutal, and blinding. He reaches the operating room. Doctors stand between him and Ellie. And he doesn't stop. He shoots. He takes her. And as he carries her out, unconscious, unaware, we see that same image again. Ellie in his arms, just like Sarah. But this time, he won't let death win. Outside, Marlene pleads with him, tells him this is bigger than the both of them. That Ellie would have wanted to make that choice. But Joel's already made his. And he kills her too, sealing the lie and the fate of what's left of the world. He drives off with Ellie, leaving behind the only hope for a cure, for a future. And when Ellie later asks what happened, he lies. Tells her the fireflies had found others like her. That they didn't need her anymore. That everything is fine. And in that moment, we're left with a question that still haunts players to this day. Did Joel save Ellie, or did he doom the world? I want to wrap it up with a reflection on the moral debate and how it shaped The Last of Us Part 2. And that's what truly sets The Last of Us apart. It wasn't just about clickers, stealth, or survival mechanics. It was about the weight of choice, the kind of choice that doesn't come with victory music or a game over screen, the kind that lingers, the kind that sits in your chest long after you've put the controller down. Joel wasn't a hero, but he wasn't a villain either. He was a man who had lost everything, and when he found something worth holding on to again, he refused to let it go, even if it meant taking that choice away from Ellie, even if it meant betraying what was left of humanity. And what made it so powerful was that we weren't just watching his decision, we were complicit. We pulled the trigger. We carried Ellie out of that hospital. We lived with that lie. It's why, in 2020, when The Last of Us Part 2 forced us to confront the consequences of that choice, the gaming world erupted. People weren't just debating a plot point. They were defending themselves, their own values, their own pain. Because this story, whether you loved it or hated it, forced us all to look inward. And maybe that's why, years later, we're still talking about it. Because deep down, we all wonder, if you were Joel, would you have done the same? That's a question with no easy answer. And maybe that's the point.